it was a moment in time. I was, working at Hypothesis after a while, and then Roberto was changing his job. He was working at OMA in Hong Kong for 8 years, and he was leaving that to start teaching. So we thought that it would be a good time to kind of start something. Maybe you want to add on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is circumstantial. The right time, the right place, the right amount of experience, the right age maybe. But obviously, also the fact that we've known each other for a long time is an important factor because there's an element of trust that, is quite important, I think, when you engage in a collaborative design process. We were quite interested in trying to establish a goal or a direction and an identity. So we do have this sort of vision, what we're about, what we're interested in, and our approach, our design approach. I think when you arrive with this self-awareness and you know what your practice is about or you want it to be about, then the way you make decisions becomes much more effective. Expanding on this, one of the things that we established in our vision has to do with experience, but also the introduction of different destinations. The multiplicity of a project, not having, say, one homogeneous concept.
Architecture being something that has kind of multiplicity character to it, meaning that we're trying to experiment with a different approach where a building might be composed of different objects. Each object has its own function and caters for its own, need, and also provides a different and distinctive experience and character in itself. So architecture is almost like a composition of different objects that coexist together harmoniously, within the project. But it might not necessarily have, one totalitarian kind of language or move. So that's something that we've been working on. So I think there's a clear distinction, for me at least, between buildings and architecture. And I think architecture is designed, it deals with beauty, it deals with aesthetics, or at least good architecture allows people to perceive environments and space in a different way. It allows people to interact with each other in a different way. I think people don't talk enough about pleasure in architecture. They talk about function, context, economy of things, and social aspects, and those are all extremely important. But I think at the end of the day, every architect has this kind of inner intention of wanting to make beautiful things.
We were talking earlier about architecture versus building, right? We think it needs to happen, obviously, because the building is more pragmatic, it's real, it's functional, right? But we were interested in this tension between the artistic, the subjective, the beautiful, the imaginary, and something that is real, pragmatic, and functional, which is why we, in the two words that define our practice.
Yeah, because object is something that's very real, very physical, right? Very objective. Whereas imaginary is something that is very subjective, something that entertains your fantasy, something that allows for multiple kind of possibility.